because I started out as a filmmaker, then I jumped into dance. So I think when I see how dance attracted me, specifically dance film, it reminds me a lot of the early stage of films, like silent movies.
Films, okay.
Because back then with silent films, they hired dancers, not so much actors, right? Yeah. So a lot of it turns it back into like visual storytelling. So with stage, you design what your audience want to see. With a stage, because of the distance, you have different elements to create the atmosphere maybe.
Yeah.
But with cinema, because it goes into, also with 3D, you get different type of effects. You can really feel the energy and impact of a body falling on stage.
Yes, okay.
But when you create it for the camera, sometimes in 2D, the impact is very different.
Okay.
So
how do you solve that? How do you translate that?
How do I translate? That goes back into cinematography, like in the film technique. So sometimes when you create dance films, it is still filmmaking. It's still, you need all that technique. So same thing like creating an action movie, why you would use a wider lens angle to create the impact of somebody running, being chased, how they, or fighting scenes. So with dance, it's also similar. So then first you need to go back to what they want to say. So what normally works on stage, what delivers on stage, it may not deliver on camera. So then you have to go back to the essence of what the choreographer or what the dance wants to tell. For at that moment, if the impact of a leg kicking, doing a grambama, like really high up there is really important, the dynamics, then we have to consider the angle of the camera.
So does it mean that when you choreograph for the camera, you choreograph both the dancers' movements and the like the framing or even the blocking ahead of doing everything?
Ideally, yes. But but in reality, when especially since I started the company in Taiwan, when I work with a lot of choreographers, it really depends on the market also. So a lot of the dance scenes nowadays, there's a lot of chunk of portion they do improvisational segments, and that what makes it really difficult. Sometimes. So
are you familiar with the movies, the dance films of Pina Bausch?
Yes, the Pina Bausch movie I've seen. Yeah.
And those, there's no improvisation. I mean, it's so like very precisely blocked. There's no room for improv. So what is your favorite approach? You are like, because this is where you are, so like very open to improv, or you like something more like controlled, where the end result is really your creation?
Well, I'm pretty old myself. So I'm kind of like,
don't say that.
I'm middle aged now, but I'm trying to push my boundaries a little bit, because I think with the current stage of specifically in Taiwan, things tend to be a lot of improvisation. What I like, ideally, I like it choreographed. So I can do a storyboard. So I can plan my camera angles, my lenses. But in reality, with the market now, there's a lot of improvisation. So then they also can't tell me what's going to happen. They only tell me the location. So then what I can control is the light, maybe. Or if the budget is very low, we can't even have a lighting crew. So then I have to figure out the time, or like what kind of equipment I use. Often it's very limited to 1 or 2 lenses. But,
1 or 2 lenses, but does it mean like multiple cameras, or you shoot with a single camera?
Ideally, if it's improvisation, yes, we can shoot with multiple cameras. I think it works better. But when you create a short film, for example, even for narrative filming, designing light or designing a frame for multiple cameras is a lot harder, I think. It's not very ideal. So that means you have to have very good lighting that can cover all 3 angles. So I think if you want to create beautiful images, it's much better to do it with 1.
I see, yes.
So this is also something that I need to consider. So depending on the budget or depending on the work, with improvisational work, a lot of times the choreography doesn't stop during the shoot. So then as you're editing the work, you're also you're also becoming a choreographer.
I see. You're like re-choreographing based on the material that you have.
Yeah. So that's why, as a filmmaker, I hate it because you spend a lot of time.
Yes.
It's almost like it's actually very similar to editing a documentary that you don't have much control of.
Yes, I see.
So you don't know what you're gonna shoot. So you end up with a lot of footage.